Okay, guys, welcome back. I am joined by Danielle Anatra. Welcome back to the show, Miss Danielle.
Hi, how are you? I'm so
I'm
happy to
doing
be here.
well. Well, yeah, we're glad to have you. You got a great topic for today. Um, Everyone knows if you've watched the show before, Danielle is a medium and a mentor. You do readings that consist of mediumship and psychic connections. Can you kind of fill in the blanks, tell people exactly what you do and the name of the business?
Okay, well, I just use my name
Okay.
as a business because it's me,
Gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
yeah, so nothing special there, just my name. And yeah, I do mediumship readings, I do psychic readings, and I teach spiritual development, psychic development, and mediumship development. Um, I love and mindset development because that has a lot to do with your work when you're starting to learn and grow and do everything. So a lot of that can get in the way if you don't work on yourself too
Hmm. Now,
during
now,
this work.
what does that mindset work? What does that entail?
Um, you want to kind of get rid of all kind of past issues, forgive people, forgive for yourself, forgive others, forgive all that because like we don't realize how much weight is on our shoulders all the time. We carry so much from other people and things that maybe we did that we're not proud of or things that we've experienced, things that we went through, we have to realize aren't our fault because some things happen to us and it has something to do with someone else and not ourselves. And we are the way we are because of how we were raised, how we grew up, what we've been through, what we've seen, how we chose to handle certain things. And it's just about getting yourself into more of a positive vibration and kind of learning how to cope with life and not get so offended, because sometimes people will offend us. Like, people try to say mean things and offend us, but it has everything to do with them and nothing to do with us. So, we have to learn who we are because if we know we're not that, then it's not going to bother us. It's going to roll off our shoulders, So it's just about being okay with who you are and not judging yourself, not judging other people, and just kind of staying in your lane.
Gotcha. Now,
Mhm.
one thing that I was really excited about, you got a bunch of things that you're going to talk to us about today, but one of them is so fitting because a lot of people really don't even know what a medium is. I mean,
Right.
the difference between a medium and a psychic, and can you tell us some misconceptions of mediumship? What would you say if I asked you
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. So, some people come to me, and it's so true because some people come into my office and they sit with me and they're like, so, what do you do? Like they just make an appointment with me and they don't even know what I do. And I'm like, so I always kind of go through it really quickly because, there's so many different kinds of readers out there. People do such really cool, amazing things and they have such good amazing gifts and everything. So some people come and they don't even know what it is, so I always try to explain what it is I do. But a lot of times what I find when if I'm mentoring somebody or somebody comes to me for mentoring, I always screen them first to kind of see where they're at. And there are so many misconceptions of what mediumship is and why people wait so long to get into it. So one, I'm just going to go through a couple of, there's so
Please.
many, but I'm going to go through a couple of them. So the first thing is belief structure. Some people are like, oh, I'm really religious. I don't believe in, religion's like taught to believe us that like, we're bad or we're fortune tellers or, like something like that. And I always sit down, I always tell people, I'm like, fire's not going to shoot out of my eyes. I'm not going to like, like it's just, I'm a normal girl. I
Yeah,
just sit
yeah.
down, let's talk. I try to make people feel comfortable when they come in. But so when I first started doing this, my grandma is super religious. And when I first made an appointment with Pat Longo, who was my first mentor, my grandmother was so upset because she's like, this is not of God. You can't do this. What do you do? And I'm like, all right, grandma. And she got so upset that I felt so bad and I canceled my first appointment. And, and Pat was just like, it's the fear, which leads into, the second misconception is just fear. Like it's really easy to fear what we don't understand.
Yes.
So the more, because people are like, what if I can't control it? What if like bad energy comes to me? Listen, there's polarities everywhere. There's good, bad, right, wrong. Like you have to know both sides. You have to know one side to know the other. And I'm not going to sit here and say there's nothing bad, or there's nothing negative out there, and like negative energy doesn't exist. But I choose not to teach that, and I choose not to give that any energy,
Okay.
because if you're in light and you're in a positive vibration, nothing's going to touch you. Like you're okay, and you just have to learn how to be, how to be protected, so that nothing like that ever will happen. So I never really dabbled with any of that like dark stuff.
Right.
And what I found is a lot of people, the more they learned, and the more they learned about this trade, the more they learned about psychic development and mediumship development, and how it works, and how we communicate with spirit and everything like that, they're less scared. And the more you know how to protect yourself, and the more you know how, to work it, so it's less scary for
Right.
people,
Did you ever ask your grandmother about, I know in the Bible there are
Oh
so many
yeah.
references to prophets,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I don't think they would look down upon, right?
um a lot of it depends on where, like, what you're looking and how you interpret it.
Right.
I can't really sit here and start saying Bible verses. I don't know them,
I
but
understand. Yeah.
but I do know what you're talking about. And my grandmother, funny enough, she used to go with the church, and she used to do healings with the church, and and go around and do all of that stuff. Like my grandfather has so many experiences. Like, she believes in all these experiences, but she doesn't, like, she wasn't one to believe that you could just start doing this, or it's something that should be free, and you shouldn't charge money for it. And and that was like her old school belief in all of it. And believe me, I struggled with that for a really long time too. Not the religion part, but more of the charging, and and things like that. Because I'm like, this is such like,
Yeah, but you
it's
got to
such a
make a living. You got to, nobody's
exactly.
giving
And
you anything.
right. And one time somebody said to me, because I believe me, I do a lot of stuff for free.
I'm sure you
I
do.
donate a lot of time. And but when I was doing this one day, my friend said to me, she's like, well, Danielle, she goes, think about how many classes you took. Think about how much money you invested,
Right.
like, in
Right. Nobody's
yourself
getting
to
mad at those
do
people
all
that
of
are right.
this. Yeah. So I'm like, it makes sense. Like, just like you go to college to learn how to do something, and then you start doing it, you get, it's a gift that you kind of have already, or something you're already interested in, you want to do, and then you learn it and you perfect it, and then you do it.
You're
It's the
right.
same,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. But I find that it helps so many people, with just them personally. This work, like, people want to go on the spiritual path. Like, spirituality is different. It goes hand in hand with mediumship and psychic abilities, but it's so totally different. I believe in just, my own moral compass, and I just believe in being a good person every day, and just going through each day and being the best I could be. And
Yeah.
that's what I strive for every day.
Well,
And
Danielle, you touched on something there, which is something that I said in the beginning, which I still don't know the difference. What is the difference between a medium and a psychic?
oh my God. So I teach classes on this, so I could talk to you for like 5 hours about this, and I'll try not to, but I'll try to make it
It's
really
totally
brief.
cool.
There's so many differences. It's very common to toggle back and forth between mediumship and psychic when you're doing a mediumship reading. It's very common to do that, and it's okay to do that. But you, as the medium, need to understand when you're doing it, so that the direct messages from spirit, and what your higher self is telling you. So when spirit comes in, if there's something that's not in my frame of reference, that they don't know, if there's a message that they can't get to me, my higher self, or that higher power with me, will kind of give me through psychically, they'll give me information in a reference that I can understand, so I can properly translate the message to the person who's sitting with me.
Okay.
So we have mediumship. The only way I could explain it is mediumship is more, it's a different feeling for me. It's different for everybody how they experience it. But for me, it's a different feeling, and it's more outside of you, because it's not coming from you. So it's more outside of you. Psychic work feels more, and it's a higher vibration too. And psychic work feels more like you feel more grounded with it, and you feel like more like in your body. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but you feel more like in your body. And you just have to, it's important. I could tell by the direction that I'm looking. like when I'm doing it, like mediumship, I kind of like, I turn my head to the side, but I'm looking straight ahead, and I'm kind of working like this. And psychic work, I can kind of look at everywhere, but I'm more like head on, and then I look I look to the side. So I'm like, I kind of know where I'm at when I'm doing it, but it's just a different feeling. So when I teach classes on it, I have my students do different practices and different techniques to kind of feel the difference
Okay.
between, because not everybody's a medium,
Right.
but how we get information from spirit is through our, we have our five senses, our sixth sense, and it's like that, like how you could hear people talking. It's the same thing. That's our clairaudience, and you hear it like inside your mind, almost like a thought that you would get. So you have to separate your thoughts from what spirit is telling you, which is another whole class. But you have to
That sounds like
separate
that
all
would
of
be
that.
difficult. That would.
It's not. Once you experience it and recognize it once, and you have that light bulb moment with it, you're
Uh,
not going to question it anymore.
okay.
But it's like, if people don't talk to you in full sentences, like we can sit here and have a nice conversation. It's not like that with spirit. It's more of you get like a few words, or like a short sentence, or you might hear waves crashing, or like you might hear a gunshot, or like a loud sound, or something like that, that you can interpret, like how does that feel to you, and you might feel the sentence, or you might just know something, like
Oh,
sometimes you say something, how did you know that? I don't know, I just knew.
does it
you
ever
know
scare you? Like when you
Never.
never.
I'm like, I know a lot of people who are very scared, who or were very scared of it before they learned it, and some people who don't touch it because they're scared of it.
Right.
I always embraced it because I was always interested.
You were just curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I was always curious. So
Okay.
so
And
yeah, it never really scared me.
when you're doing your mediumship work, have you ever seen the person that comes through? Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, for the most part, I don't see people like I see you.
Right.
It's more of a feeling where I could feel their features, like I
You
just
feel
know what
that
their features are.
vibration. Okay.
Sometimes I'll get a glimpse of it, but what I find is I have experienced where I could see full visual like I see you. I have
Wow.
experienced it like that. I purposely ask spirit not to give it to me like that, because that kind of makes me nervous. Like if I'm home alone and I'm walking upstairs, I'm like, oh, like
Oh my God.
that's certain times where my husband doesn't want to be married to a medium, because I'm just like, Joe, I'm like running upstairs, and he's
Mhm.
just like,
What?
he's like, oh, here we go, So
Well, it's like, well, I know we're talking about some misconception when we're talking about a lot of stuff right here, but like me, it's just me and Mr. Producer in this room right here. I mean, could there possibly be, we don't have the gift that you do, but could there possibly be a spirit in this room, and me and Mr. Producer wouldn't even know it? And
oh
you,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely. There's something in that studio though.
really?
Like, oh yeah, definitely. I'm not feeling like the room that you're in, but definitely in your building or vicinity that you are. I don't know what your space looks
There's
like. You could
another
just be,
studio right past the wall there. Maybe it's in there.
oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say, like, you could just be in like your mom's closet right now. Like, I don't know where you are, but I
Okay,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah. There's
I
a bunch of
feel like
studios
there's, yeah, I don't
divided
know if
by a
it's
wall, and
like,
then there's an office. So
yeah, like I don't know if it's like a closet or another like small space, but I feel like people have had like, like run out of the room, or like have heard like sounds or something coming from the room, like, or have like weird feelings like being in there. Like, because sometimes you walk into a space and you just don't feel comfortable,
yeah.
and you don't know why,
Hmm.
and it's just because of that. You just have to like tap into it a little more. Yeah, so a lot of people call for like space clearings and
Oh
things
yeah.
like that, but I usually refer.
You
Uh,
know somebody who does those. You don't.
yeah,
You don't
my
do
friend Justine Melody, she is the most phenomenal. I call her my little Ghostbuster,
those.
because I hate doing that stuff. I'm like, I don't really like doing the work. I'll do it for like myself and for like a friend or something, but it's not something I put on my services. I know how to do it though, but it's just not something I enjoy. She loves it. She's like the most, oh my God. But yeah, so that's her department.
Okay. Well, Danielle, what about people listening right now in their car? Could they have a spirit in their car and not know it?
Um, I feel like our loved ones, like, I feel like everyone walks in with at least 5 people, at least, like, with them, but they have to, like, your own people, your own loved ones, even if you don't know 5 people who passed away, we have a heritage there. There's ancestors, there's people who know you, people that you could deliver a message to. There's so many things, and there's so many people that go with you, but it's a matter of them to step forward to me in order for me to communicate with them. So sometimes people come for a reading, and as a medium, I want to be able to connect to everybody that you want to talk to,
Yeah.
but sometimes they want to, I wanted to talk to Aunt so and so, and they didn't come
And
through,
they didn't come through.
but that doesn't mean they're not with you. Like, I'll tell them that doesn't mean they're not with you. I'm just not picking up on them,
Mhm.
for whatever reason, and I always tell people, like, no legitimate medium could ever guarantee you that a particular person will come through
Of course not.
during your
Right.
reading,
Right. This is
because some
something.
people, they look for it, though. People look for it. So I always try to tell them at the beginning of the reading, like, that doesn't mean they're not with you, but they might not step forward to me all the time,
Understood.
so.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that we're having this conversation, because these are all the questions I hope that I'm speaking for all the people in their car, and people listening, that want to know, like, can you explain, when you use the term crossover, will people cross back to get in with the mediumship through you? Because I know that, as you said, that you're kind of like the messenger almost, right?
Right.
So will they have to cross back, or can you explain that whole thing? Are they here?
I think I know what you're asking me.
Yeah, I'm kind of sorry.
I think I know what you're asking. So you're asking, like, when people cross over, do they come back?
To
It's not
talk to
like
us.
that. No. They're in the light, and and the light could be whatever you perceive life after death to be.
So they don't have to
Like,
come back to this world to have a session with you to talk
no,
to me.
it's important for us to raise our vibration, but no matter how high, as human beings, as high as we can raise our vibration, we will never reach where they're at. So they kind of lower it to talk to us. Like, you have your lingo for what you do, and I'm sure you talk to your producer much differently than you're going to talk to me, because I'm going to be like, talk to me like I'm 7 and say that again, because
Okay.
I'm not going to understand certain terms that you're saying.
Understood.
So like, you're up here when it comes to radio and producing and all of that, and I'm kind of over here. So you have to kind of
Good example. Yeah.
come down to my level to speak to me. So that's the same thing that spirit does. They kind of come down to my level to speak to me. But the higher our vibration, the more that we're going to connect and, really deliver the message appropriately. So they have to kind of come down to our level to speak to us in a way that we'll understand.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
say in real life, say right now, say me and you we're brother and sister, me and you. So of
Mhm.
course we care about each other a lot, right?
Right.
Well, say I pass and I cross over. Do I still, after this life here is over, do I still have the same feeling? Do I still have that intense feeling for my sister?
Yes, our soul carries memories. So that's why I always tell people experiences are so important. Like, our soul carries memories. So you're just not holding on to the physical or emotional pains of being here. Okay. So that's why when you communicate with spirit, there's a lot of balance. You don't feel good or bad. Like, you feel great coming out of a reading, but, like, any ache or pain or anything in your body is gone, and everything's, like, neutral. Like, you're very balanced. Like, when you get direct guidance from spirit, even if it's like something not so great or whatever, like, you're still very calm about it. And that's how you know it's guidance, because they're not going to create fear around you. It's just going to be like, oh, I have to do this. Okay, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
And you just do it. So, they create balance. So yeah, they'll still remember the love that they had for you, and, like, the memories and the things that happened and everything. So, like, our soul will carry the memory, but just not the physical or emotional pain.
Got it. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so say, my father's gone, right? And he's
Mhm.
passed on for 20 something years or whatever. Um, it, it, they never they don't forget what they had here. Like they would never forget me or my family,
No.
the person who passed on.
No, but they will see, they will try to help you cope with certain things. They won't carry like burdens or anything that any kind of resentment or anything like that. They won't carry that. But I do find that during readings, they do need to acknowledge their personality, during the readings. Like sometimes I had this woman's I don't know the relationship. I remember the concept. Let's say it was her mother
Okay.
that came through. She, the mother wasn't really around much when she was growing up, and she had so many kids, and she never really said, "I love you" to them. So if I went in and said, "Oh, your mom says I love you," she's gonna be like, "That's not my mom."
Yeah, that no, you got that right.
But so this woman came through and she acknowledged, I said, I understand that she didn't really throw around the word "I love you" very much, and she
Okay,
never
you knew
really
that.
said it very often, but she's telling you she loves you, and she could see all of her mistakes that she made, and then I'll go into, all the mistakes and all the things that kind of like severed their relationship, so to
Wow.
speak.
What was your client
So,
like?
yeah, what?
What was your client like? How did he or
Oh,
she take
I
that?
don't remember, but
Oh, okay.
they resonated with it. They
Yeah,
definitely
of course.
resonated with it. But that's where a lot of healing takes place too, because if they choose to take that and heal from it, then that's beautiful. And that's how these readings can be very healing. But that's usually how a lot of the readings go. They want to help you move forward or whatever. They want
Yeah.
to help you move forward with things and kind of let it go.
Like once people cross over, are they on such a
Mhm.
high vibration that our animosity or our hang-ups or things that we think about or anger or whatever, is their vibration, because where they're at is so high that that stuff becomes trivial and only important to us?
Yeah, they can see things much differently than we can. I mean, listen, I don't know for, whatever, but for my experience and what I believe is that there's not like a heaven or hell. There's just like different vibrations. Like, we live amongst like good people, bad people, like people that do right things and wrong things and whatever, but we attract who we are. So
Okay.
we always have that inner circle. I kind of feel like it's kind of like that over there too, only they're learning lessons over there. They're doing work over there as well.
You
And
mean there's
if
more learning to do? Oh my
there's
God.
always more learning to do. It never ends. Sometimes I finish a lesson and I'm like, oh, thank God. And they don't wait a second. I'm just like, I turn around and I'm like, damn it.
They'll
All
give you a
right, I
break.
can't just like bask in this for a second. They don't give you a second, but we're always works in progress. And if we were perfected souls, then we wouldn't have to be here.
No, I'm with you, and I appreciate you, talking to us because I know people have so many questions about these misconceptions and
Yes.
things that we don't understand, and I think you're doing a great job covering a lot of
Oh,
them.
thank you.
What else do you feel is a misconception about what you do and what your gift is?
Um, some people get very angry. Like, some people feel like, they have a misconception of psychics because they feel, oh, they just want to take your money or they just want to do, and I'm not saying there aren't some people who do that. I mean, it's like any profession, people are gonna, wheel and deal you
There are
sometimes. And
librarians that are, you know
that
what I
was
mean.
the at a left field reference.
Yeah, it was.
Librarians. But
But I understand.
that was funny. But yeah, there's going to be people in every profession that do that. And it was funny before I realized like my gift. My husband had got diagnosed with cancer. He was never into psychics, never believed in them. And then one day, I just got in touch with a psychic who was doing the wrong thing. And she scared the crap out of us. And she told me that if I didn't get $3,000, put it in a satin thing, put it under my pillow, and then bring it to her
Oh
so she
my
could like
God.
throw holy water on me or something the next day that I could we could stop his cancer or whatever it was.
Oh,
And you're like in a state of like you're so scared,
oh, to take
and
to take advantage of someone vulnerable at that point.
I know
That's
it's awful.
inexcusable.
So I went to the bank and I'm sitting there and I was like, I can't. I came home to my husband. I said, I love you so much, but I was like, I can't do this. And like, it's just like, it's not right, And before that, she was like, you have to go around your house 4 times with salt and like do this. So I'm outside. I just moved to my neighborhood at the time, and I go outside and I have salt. I went through like three or four of the Morton salts in like 2 days. And I'm like, as I'm on my third lap around my house, my next door neighbor is outside and he has salt in his hand and he's salting the between our properties. And I said, I was as I'm on my third lap around, I stopped and I started laughing. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's just like, whatever you got over there, I don't want it coming over here. And he was laughing. And then I was like, all right, we're going to be friends.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, people are going to think I'm nuts.
What a great story. Whatever you got over there, I don't.
My husband would like hide in the house with the blind shut. Like, I don't know her.
Oh my God. That's a great story.
But that's why it's important to learn. So, you know what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's great. Wow. Oh, you gotta if you're still in touch with that neighbor, you gotta.
I am.
You gotta show that person this, because I just got a huge laugh.
Him and his wife are some of my best friends. they're amazing.
Hey guys, you guys are listening to the Danielle, or listening and watching the Danielle Anatra show. Danielle, we're out of time here. Let me give you the last word here. You have the floor. Anything you want to leave us with, and then let us know how to get a hold of you. Great show, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, you can get in touch with me. My website's probably the best way, DanielleAnatra.com. And I do have a phone that you can call or text, 516-384-8632. And just if there's anyone out there who, experiences any kind of spirit activity or think they're experiencing it, or have anxiety and feel like it might be from there, you could always call me and set up like a consultation for mentorship, because when you understand it, it's really much easier to control it. So, I could help you put your mind at ease if you have any kind of fears or anything like that.
All right. Great. Hey, great show, Danielle. Can't wait to hear what you got for us next week. That's Danielle Anatra, everybody. Danielle, thank you so much. I'm sorry to get
Thank you.
But I will save them and we'll get to them.